In what was his first major address to Congress since becoming president again, Donald Trump announced plans to revive a Cold War-era vision, a system he claims will neutralize nuclear threats before they reach U.S. soil. This proposal, echoing Reagan's infamous Star Wars program, has reignited a fierce debate. Is this the ultimate deterrent, or a dangerous gamble that could spark a new global arms race? So what's Trump promising? Trump's Golden Dome aims to modernize missile defense with three key goals. First, it seeks to counter hypersonic missiles, a technology where Russia and China currently outpace the United States. Second, it promises to intercept long-range nuclear strikes mid-flight, rendering them useless. Third, it aims to deter adversaries by signaling that their arsenals are obsolete. On paper, it's a win for national security, but here's the problem. Nuclear deterrence is a two-way street. If the US erodes Russia or China's ability to retaliate, they'll race to rebuild, and then some. Let's be blunt, the US is not ready for a 21st century arms race. One major issue is the state of all of our defense industry. Today, it takes the US 3 to 5 years to build a single Virginia-class submarine, while China pumps out an entire naval fleet in the same time frame. Russia, despite sanctions, now produces artillery shells 7 times faster than the US and NATO combined. Defense contractors prioritize profit over production speed, leaving the US built for high-margin contracts rather than rapid mobilization. Meanwhile, China's industrial juggernaut is a growing concern. Beijing is expanding its navy at a 5-to-1 ratio compared to the US and controls 80% of the world's rare earth minerals. These are critical for advanced weapons. China has also conducted over a dozen hypersonic missile tests since 2020, while the US has managed a 6th, or so they say. If Trump's Golden Dome forces Russia and China to escalate, the US will be playing catch-up from day one. Can diplomacy avert a disaster? This brings us to the trillion-dollar question. Will Trump have to negotiate? History tells us that Russia and China won't sit idly by. When Reagan proposed Star Wars, the Soviets scrambled to build more warheads. Today, the stakes are even higher. Past arms treaties have failed for several reasons. China was never included, leaving them free to build up while the US and China reduced their stockpiles. For any new deal to work, it must include China. It must also limit hypersonic and AI-driven systems while allowing the US to continue developing missile defense without triggering a nuclear arms buildup. But here's the catch. China refuses to join arms talks unless the US slashes its arsenal first, creating a stalemate with no easy fix. So what's the playbook to avoid disaster? First, the US must fix its defense production. This means cutting the red tape, choking weapons manufacturing, shifting contracts to prioritize speed over profit, and securing rare earth supplies to break dependence on China. Second, the US must negotiate from a position of strength. This means no unilateral disarmament and using economic leverage to push China to the table. It also means demanding verification technologies to catch Russia cheating. Finally, the US must prepare for the worst. If talks fail, the US must accelerate hypersonic research and development immediately. If Trump skips these steps, the Golden Dome becomes a trillion-dollar bluff, one that could leave America vulnerable. In the end, Trump's plan is a double-edged sword. Done right, it could redefine global security. Done wrong, it risks a three-way arms race with rivals who've spent decades preparing. The US must choose: invest deeply in industrial revival and smart diplomacy, or roll the dice on a strategy that could backfire spectacularly. One thing's certain, in the age of hypersonics and AI, the margin for error is zero. When talking about this on the campaign, keep this in mind. So, good luck.